26th of November, 1992. That is the date Manchester United signed Eric Cantona for £1 million, a man whose presence on and off the pitch reshaped the club's destiny forever, Giggs said. He was never satisfied with just being good. He wanted us to be great, and he made us believe we could achieve anything. Signed by Sir Alex Ferguson, Cantona would go on to play a pivotal role in turning Manchester United from a good club challenging for trophies into one of the biggest and best clubs in the world. Known for his charisma, his incredible talent, and his often controversial antics, Cantona brought a certain edge to Old Trafford. But it wasn't just his ability on the ball that made him such a transformative figure. It was his mentality, his attitude, and his aura that lifted the entire club. The arrival of a king. Eric's arrival at Manchester United wasn't met with universal excitement. The Frenchman had previously played for Leeds United, where his fiery spirit and mercurial talent had caught the eye of Sir Alex Ferguson. However, his reputation for being difficult and rebellious made many wonder whether he would fit into the strict, disciplined culture that Ferguson was trying to build at United. But Ferguson saw something in Cantona that others didn't. A man who could be volatile, yet utterly brilliant. Ferguson had been building a team that was brimming with young talent, but something was missing. United needed a leader. Someone who could inspire the likes of Ryan Giggs, Mark Hughes, and Paul Ince to greater heights. Cantona was that leader. He made big decisions, not least leaving Leeds United, who had just won the league in 1991, for the city of Manchester. From his very first match in a red shirt, it was clear that Cantona was no ordinary player. He had a commanding presence on the field. His vision, his creativity, and his technical skills were top-notch, but it was his attitude that immediately set him apart. With his collar famously turned up, Cantona embodied the rebellious spirit of the club, and soon the team began to mirror that same swagger. Cantona's impact was felt almost immediately. In his first full season at Manchester United, he helped the club secure their first league title in 26 years after scoring 15 goals and providing 15 assists. The title was a symbol of United's rebirth under Ferguson, and Eric was central to that transformation. His leadership on the pitch and his ability to score crucial goals made him indispensable. He had a knack for turning up in key moments, scoring goals that not only won matches but also inspired his teammates to push for greatness. One of the defining moments of Cantona's first season came on the final day of the 1992-1993 season, when United needed to win to clinch the title. Cantona scored a stunning goal against Blackburn Rovers, a moment that encapsulated his class and his ability to deliver when it mattered most. The goal secured the win, and United sealed their long-awaited league title. But it wasn't just the goal's contributions that defined Cantona's contribution. His presence elevated the entire team. The likes of Ryan Giggs and Paul Ince, who were already excellent players, seemed to step up their game when Cantona was on the pitch. As Giggs himself later recalled, Eric had an aura about him. You just felt better when he was on the field. He made everyone believe they could win. A new mentality. Sir Alex Ferguson said, "When Eric arrived, we were a good team, but we weren't a great team. He changed that. He brought that mentality of greatness with him, and that's what made the difference." Cantona wasn't just a brilliant footballer, he was a force of nature. Ferguson had found a player who wasn't content with just winning games. He wanted to dominate. Gary Neville, a key figure in United's defence during that era, recalls how Cantona's arrival changed the entire dynamic of the squad. Cantona had a belief in himself and his ability that you couldn't ignore, Neville said. He would come into the dressing room and just by walking in, you could feel the atmosphere change. He had this aura, and it was infectious. Roy Keane also acknowledged Cantona's influence on the squad. Eric was a winner, Keane said. He demanded the best from everyone, and he expected nothing less than total commitment. When he spoke, everyone listened. He was a leader in every sense of the word. Under Ferguson, the club had always been focused on hard work, discipline and unity, but Cantona brought a new level of swagger to that equation. He expected everyone around him to share his ambition, and if they didn't, he'd let them know. It wasn't just his words that impacted his teammates, but his actions as well. He played with a fierce intensity that infected everyone around him. He demanded the highest standards from himself, and by extension, from those around him. As former United captain Brian Robson said, Eric didn't just talk about greatness, he embodied it. He raised the standards of the entire club. The mentality changed. The next season was even better. Cantona's influence was felt even more in the 1993/1994 season, where he led United to a domestic double, winning both the Premier League and the FA Cup. His performances during this campaign were nothing short of magnificent. Cantona scored crucial goals, delivered key assists, and was an ever-present figure in United's attack. His partnership with Mark Hughes was telepathic at times, with the two forming a lethal attacking duo that helped United assert their dominance over English football. Cantona's performances in big games were particularly memorable. In the 1994 FA Cup final against Chelsea, Cantona scored a magnificent chip over Chelsea goalkeeper Dmitry Karin to seal United's 4-0 win. That goal became a symbol of Cantona's brilliance, as it encapsulated his vision, composure, and sheer talent. But what made this victory even more significant was the manner in which the team played. With Cantona pulling the strings, United's football was a mix of aggression and creativity, a combination that would become synonymous with Ferguson's United. However, as with any player as eccentric as Cantona, there were moments that transcended football and went into the realm of the bizarre. One such moment came in January 1995, when Cantona was involved in one of the most infamous incidents in football history. During a match against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, Cantona was sent off for a foul on a Palace player. As he made his way off the pitch, he launched a kung fu-style kick into the chest of a Palace supporter who had been taunting him. The incident shocked the football world and led to a 9-month ban for the striker. It was a moment that many felt would be the end of his career at United. But despite the controversy, Ferguson stuck by Cantona. He believed in the Frenchman's ability to bounce back and continue being a key player for the team. Cantona's return to the pitch was met with jubilation from United fans, and he soon proved that his moment of madness had not dimmed his brilliance on the field. The Kung Fu incident is still one of the most talked about moments in football history, and while it marred Cantona's career for a short while, it also contributed to his larger-than-life persona. The fact that he was able to return from that ban and continue performing at the highest level demonstrated his resilience and mental strength. The collective brilliance of Eric's teammates was crucial in realising the vision Sir Alex Ferguson had for the club. Cantona's influence spread through the ranks, and it was the combination of his leadership and the talents of those around him that turned United into a global powerhouse. Ryan Giggs, United's legendary winger, was a key partner for Cantona. Giggs's pace, skill, and ability to deliver crucial assists complemented Cantona's creativity and vision perfectly. Giggs himself often spoke about the Frenchman's role in his development. Eric's confidence and belief were infectious, Giggs said. He made us all believe we could win, and his presence on the field made us better players. It was a joy to play alongside him. Roy Keane, the tough, no-nonsense midfielder, was another integral figure. Keane's leadership and relentless work ethic were the perfect complement to Cantona's artistry. Their contrasting personalities, Keane's hard-hitting style and Cantona's flamboyance, created a balance that United thrived on. Keane's fierce commitment and Cantona's flair helped solidify United as a team that was both mentally and technically superior to their rivals. As Keane himself remarked, Eric brought a different mentality to the team, one that matched our hunger to win. Gary and Phil played crucial roles in United's rise as well. Gary Neville, in particular, was a constant in the right-back position, providing defensive stability and overlapping runs that supported Cantona in attack. Both Gary and Phil were part of the club's youth system, and they played an instrumental role in ensuring United's values were upheld during their time alongside Cantona. Of course, Paul Scholes, the diminutive midfielder known for his vision and technique, was another vital piece of the puzzle. Scholes and Cantona's link-up play was magical, with Scholes' passing ability and Cantona's movement in attack complementing each other effortlessly. Together, they orchestrated United's attacking play and ensured the team always had a creative spark. With these teammates by his side, Cantona wasn't just a star. He was part of a collective force that embodied Manchester United's resurgence. Together they created a team capable of dominating English football and conquering Europe, with Cantona as the catalyst for their greatness. Their unity, combined with Sir Alex Ferguson's leadership, set the stage for the success United would enjoy for years. The Frenchman's return to the team in 1995 to 1996 saw him once again lead United to glory. In the 1996 FA Cup final against Liverpool, Cantona scored one of the most iconic goals in United's history, a stunning chip over Liverpool goalkeeper David James. The goal secured a 1-0 win for United, and it was a fitting moment for Cantona to prove that, despite the controversies, he was still one of the best players in the world. That season, United won the Premier League and the FA Cup, completing another double. Eric's performances were key to their success, but it was his leadership and his ability to inspire his teammates that set him apart. Players like Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes spoke about how Cantona was a constant source of motivation, driving the team to greater heights. Cantona had an edge. Cantona's leadership style, while unconventional, was exactly what United needed. He wasn't afraid to confront his teammates, and he wasn't shy about showing his displeasure if someone wasn't pulling their weight. But in return, his teammates respected him for his professionalism and his commitment to winning. The King's final season. Cantona's time at United was coming to an end in the late 1990s. After winning 4 league titles, 2 FA Cups, Cantona retired from football in 1997, at the age of 30. His decision to step away from the game shocked many, but it was clear that his impact on the club was immeasurable. Ferguson himself has spoken about how Cantona's presence transformed the club. Eric was the catalyst for everything that came after him. Cantona's leadership, his mentality, and his ability to bring out the best in his teammates laid the foundations for the golden era that followed. The class of '92, including players like Giggs, Beckham, and Scholes, would go on to become legends themselves. But without Cantona, they may not have reached those heights. As former United defender Dennis Irwin said, "He gave us that belief. We all knew we had the talent, but he made us believe we could achieve greatness." As Roy Keane once said, he was the missing piece of the puzzle. Once we had Eric, we believed we could conquer the world. And conquer they did. Cantona's legacy at Manchester United is one of greatness, and his influence will forever be felt in the history of the club.